Your time.
Sure. Okay, I'm calling myself. To ensure we're getting fair, accurate, and transparent answers from each of you, I'm starting off with a simple yes or no question. Has any of you within the federal government or outside the federal government told you not to discuss any topic related to the Osprey program that may come up today?
Mr. Chairman, no.
No. No, sir.
Okay, good. Now we're looking forward to having this hearing being open and honest discussion. Admiral Chevy, can you please explain why Class A aircraft mishaps are, or what Class A aircraft mishaps are, and what criteria is involved in determining if an aircraft crash qualifies as a Class A mishap?
Yes, sir. At a high level, a Class A mishap is loss of aircraft, loss of life, and there's a certain dollar threshold from a damage perspective. I do not have that number. I can take that one for the record.
Okay, you've testified that there are many more mishaps in the Marines than the Navy and the Air Force, correct?
So I've testified. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure.
There have been many more mishaps, per hours flown in the Marines than the Navy or the Air Force, correct?
Sorry for I just want to make sure clarify. I'm answering your question. Are you asking if we had mishaps across the Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Air Force, and the V-22?
You have. You have, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have had Class A's through D's across the different services with the V-22 program.
Right, and many more in the Marines expectation than in the Navy, correct?
Sir, I would not characterize as many more. The reason we establish a mishap rate, it's per 100,000 flight hours.
Right.
The Marines have many more aircraft, have flown many more hours than the Navy has so far. I would caution us all to make sure we're having apples to apples comparison, and that's why we try to normalize it per 100,000 flight hours.
Okay. I'd like to enter into record an email committee staff received from DOD personnel without objection, so ordered. The email says, and I quote, "As for the command investigations, not all Class A mishaps have command investigations. Over the past 5 years, there have been 2 command investigations related to a V-22 Class A mishap." Admiral Chevy, can you explain what a command investigation is?
Sir, if you're allowed, I'd like to get Mr. Bell to kind of answer this question.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for your question. So a command investigation is undertaken in different ways by the different military departments, largely to get after a set of facts and potentially determine what, if any, additional actions need to be taken at that point, whether that has to do with matters of accountability or matters of remedy given a particular set of circumstances.
I'm going to jump in here. I'm trying to understand how the department can accurately determine issues with the Osprey aircraft maintenance or personnel that may have caused a mishap if there's not an investigation done with every single Class A mishap. Why is an investigation not done every time?
Let me jump in there. So with that question, for every Class A mishap, there is a safety investigation board that is conducted, where we have full unfettered access to all the data, so we can holistically look at the program, what caused this issue, and more importantly, what controls can we put in place to minimize or eliminate this risk from ever occurring again in the future. Every Class A has a mishap investigation.
Okay. Now you have command investigations and safety investigations. Can you give us an example of something that would be included in a safety investigation, not included in a command investigation?
Can I give an example of something that would be included in a safety investigation
Right.
or not? It would be privileged data, so it would be an analysis. It would be potentially some statements from witnesses. Those would be kind of a couple examples of things that would not be in the command investigation,
Okay.
but that we want access to during the safety investigation because we need
Right.
to understand. Okay.
So there's more stuff available in a safety investigation, right?
Yes, sir.
And they're not publicly made available, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. This is for Mr. Belk. As you know, the committee sent a letter to the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, in December, asking for documents and information related to all mishap investigations. To date, the department has refused to share the safety investigations with this committee, despite numerous offers to review the safety investigations in a sanitized manner or in camera as an accommodation. Why has the department refused to provide access to these reports?
Congressman, thank you for your question. So the department remains committed to being transparent and sharing information related to any of these mishaps, and we do so largely at the conclusion of our command investigations, which we do provide to the Congress upon request and upon circumstances. With respect to safety investigations are designed to maximize the fullest transparency possible with those who are participating in the investigation, so we can maximize our opportunity to understand what went right and what went wrong, and how to take remedial access to an understanding of those actions by providing those participants safety privilege. The content of those safety investigations relevant to how to get after the solution to a particular mishap event are then informed or provided to command investigations and then be able to be acted upon, which we then would be in a position to be shared with this committee.
We'll come back to that later. I'm just going to ask one more question of Mr. Chevy. I'm curious about the rate of Osprey mishaps compared to other aircraft, and I'm saying just mishaps non-combat related. Are the mishaps of the Osprey higher or lower than other military air platforms? Non-combat.
Sir, I'll just, for most of them, we had this discussion yesterday about combat versus non-combat. Most of our mishaps occur in non-combat mission sets. We train like we fight, and so we train in very realistic environments, and we want our aircrew to train in that environment. So there's a higher likelihood that we're going to have a mishap in a training accident than we are in a combat mission. With regards to your specific question, the overall mishap rate across all the systems, all the platforms of the V-22 is 4.1. The Marine Corps is slightly higher than their overall mishap rate. The Air Force is higher than the mishap rate, and the U.S. Navy right now is slightly lower than their mishap rate across the other platforms. Again, I just want to reiterate.
Yeah, I'm not thinking I'm getting the answer I want, but we're well over my time. So,
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The V-22 Osprey, like all military aircraft,